Okay, I think everything is set for the session.
Great.
YouTube and everything is done. So those magic few minutes helped.
Yep, getting less and less. It's less than a minute until we start. 5 past on my computer so far. So thanks everybody for joining in today. As there are some new names and some familiar names for me, I'm really happy to have some people rejoining and others being curious or spontaneous enough to just be here today for this session. And the Thursday session always starts with a bit of topic sharing or discussing, let's say. And some of you might regret to have come, because what I do in the beginning is I put out a question there to all of you, and I'm very curious on your thoughts, your answers, and your ideas around that question. And today's topic is conscious empathy. And the question that I want to ask you is, what, in your opinion, is the better way for supporting a person to feel how the person feels and what the person feels, or to get how the person feels? And everyone can feel free to unmute yourself and share, or to write something in the chat, whatever feels best to you.
What, Jana, what do you mean by to get how? You said to get how he feels. What do you mean by to get?
So imagine you can put yourself into someone else's shoes.
Yes.
And can relate to how the person feels, but you're not experiencing that feeling in that moment.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
What would you say is the better way to support someone? Being able to relate with how the person feels, or being able to feel what the person feels?
I would say the second.
Would you like to explain it a little more?
Because the experience of each person is very different, right? Empathy is necessary. Empathy is very important, right? But at the same time, my feeling may not, what I think she is feeling, right, may not be what she is feeling, what the person is feeling. So I need her or him to tell me in their own way, for me to understand what they're going through. So what I would say to my clients when I was working was, I would say, I'm not experienced your situation, so I do not know what you feel, right? Okay, so you need to tell me in your own words where you are and what you feel.
So if I get it right, what you did there, Mel, was listening really precisely to be able to relate to how the person feels. Is that right?
Yeah, just about, yeah. And that also gives the person control over the situation.
In which sense? Can you explain that?
In which sense? If I sort of start talking to her, thinking this is how she feels, right? I am in control of the situation actually, because I'm putting my own feelings into what I'm saying. It's my thought. So it is not her thought. So I have to give back uh, that power back to her, to feel safe, to feel that she still have some control over the situation, and that gives her a lot of I mean, it depends on the situation. It can give confidence for them to open up and talk, right? And they feel that I am listening to their story. They are not listening to my what I am saying, which is not may not be their story.
So when I get it right, then you give back power to the person, because in your connection and your communication, this person stays, let's say, the main character that it is about in that communication, right? And because you really try to explore that person's situation instead of putting your own feelings and experiences into the communication, into the story,
Yes.
and from there taking the power of the person away.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ma. That makes a lot of sense. And as you said, that's empathy.
Yeah.
And that's empowering the people that we are listening to, let's say like this. Really.
Yes.
Very true. Thank you, Mel. Somebody wrote me that, I don't want to say the name because the message just came directly to me. And the person just wrote that he or she believes that it's more important to get how one feels instead of feeling how one feels. And I would like to share a really beautiful, but an example that really totally struck me and made so much sense to me about this. So imagine someone sitting down in a hole, and it's dark in the hole, and the person feels anxious, sad, or whatever. And we go down into that hole and sit beside that person and look at that person and start feeling the same way. Start feeling the anxiety, start feeling the sadness, and stay down there with that person. And then compare with another situation where that person sits down in the dark hole, and we go down into that hole, sit next to the person, ask about, how do you feel? What is it about? And after getting an awareness of what it is about, we say, I get you. We get out of the hole again. And from up there, ask questions about, how can we bring light down there? How can we make you get up here again? I really found that those two pictures very striking to me, why it makes such a difference to not feel for a person, but being able as good as we can in relating with a person. Is that something that you get something out of those two examples?
Yes.
And then there is another, Ram, you go.
Yeah, I see earlier Sri Priya wanted to share something. Sri Priya, would you want to go ahead? I saw you were trying to unmute yourself. Or
yeah, sorry. Yeah. I just wanted to share that, like, if someone's going through a situation, then like just hear them out, whatever they want to say, be there for them. Like sometimes it just happens that they just want to vent out their feelings, and since we did not experience it, or there might be situations when we can't do anything because the event is already over. So all we can do is maybe like console them, or just hear them out, and it's okay if we like cry also. So and we just tell them that these feelings are okay to express, even if it's like anger or sadness or anything like that. So yeah, that's what I feel. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing. Yes, Ram, you go, please.
Yeah. So conscious empathy. I feel it's such a such a difficult thing in many cases. However, it is such an important thing in many relationships or in every relationship. And the better we become at it through various ways, and it starts with giving my own time and being present and being a good listener.
Mm-hmm.
So the better I get at it with the closest persons I spend my time with, and slowly increasing that sphere of closeness circle, right, wherein I can have a similar conscious empathy with almost everyone and anyone, basically makes life completely different.
Mm-hmm. What would you say
Because
makes the difference?
in the end, I would like to have someone listening to me, and that other person wants me to listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
So life between everyone is just simply this connection of being there for each other. So my way of connecting to this is, we in life are here to get better at this property of conscious empathy.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
that deep insight. When you started to explain it, Ram, what you said was, it's difficult to be empathic, or conscious empathy is difficult. What would you say makes it difficult in the beginning?
So it is about understanding empathy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means we are there, but there is no judgmental factor in there.
Mm-hmm.
So being present is difficult in many of our circumstances, our way of dealing things. So listening is there without any analysis to what the person is sharing. So only then I can connect to that person, to what he's saying. The moment I start to analyze it, I have my own judgments. I do not anymore connect. So I'm no more empathic there.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why it is very difficult, because we have trained our mind to be active. The moment somebody is talking, I'm not listening, but I'm hearing, already thinking, what should I speak?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a constant practice. It's a constant journey. It's so very profound the more I think about these two terms putting together, empathy and conscious empathy. It sounds like the world is together when these two words come together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think I said it is little bit, let's say it's difficult. However, the world comes together when we truly connect to this conscious empathy.
Yes, very true. Because what you say is, and I totally agree, conscious empathy means we listen to understand and not to reply, which is a profound difference, right? If we listen to someone for getting it, for understanding it, instead of replying. And with empathy, we totally disconnect ourselves from, let's say, the topic of the person. We disconnect the question of how am I supposed to support here? What is my experience with something similar? It's way less about us and our experiences, our analysis, and also our impatience of the heart, right? Because self-management also sometimes means there can a huge emotion come up from our history that we kind of connect. It's just not the right place for that emotion, because it doesn't have to do with the person. It has to do with us, right? And I today had a coaching session where I coached a woman, and it was our first session, and she really brought some things out from her history up that made my heart feel such an overwhelm, or it was overflowing from a lot of emotions for that woman. And my job was to consciously step back and bring those emotions to calmness again, because it was not about my emotions at all. It was about the space for that woman to express and reflect and observe everything that has to do with her and those experiences and those emotions. And my job was to help her, to hold the space for her in a non-judgmental way, just as you said, to get into a way of processing these things, and to addressing, approaching, exploring in a way. And this is why I chose this topic today. I was happy that I was able to get into that stage again, but I was also reminded again that it can be a huge challenge for us to consciously decide for empathy instead of sympathy or emotional co-independency. Yes. Bindu, you wanted to say something. You raised your hand as well. Thank you, Ram.
Thank you, Master. That is what exactly I wanted to say. Before I used to be somewhat, everybody used to be like judgmental. Once I came into this conscious thinking, once I came into meditation, now what I think is putting myself in others' shoes without being judgmental. I do hear to people, and that is what I wanted to do. So I told you that the best way is to get what they are saying rather than going into their emotions. We need to get what they are saying without getting into that negative state of mind. That is what I believe in. You have to hear them out when they pour their heart out. That is what I feel, because that is what I need. Sometimes we do need that, hearing to a person without being judgmental. We need not put our thoughts over there, but just listen. Being there for somebody in times of need is what it is. That is what I wanted to put. Thank you for the chance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bindu.
And
Mamata,
not
yes.
get into, sorry.
Pardon?
Not into get into that emotion. I think about my kids. If they are in a state of mind where there is panic or any negative emotion, if we get into that, things become worse. So we need to be in a balance where we can take that. So just listen to that and do whatever is needful and be there for a person is what it is, empathy.
Indeed, indeed. And even like you bring a perfect example with our children, because sometimes what is huge for our children doesn't look huge for us, right? Because their view to the world might be different to ours.
Yes.
But empathy also means to take that serious.
Yes.
Not to resonate with the drama, but to take serious what is big for them in what they are expressing.
Yes. Sometimes we too need emotional support. That is where it is. Not being judgmental is my kind of empathy towards them. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for the chance.
Thank you, Bendu. Thank you. Mamata, you raised your hand. Please unmute yourself. Share with us.
Namaste, Anaji.
Namaste.
Namaste, Masters. Today, the empathy. Always, we all will be in empathetic nature as a human being. But what I experience is it will be connected with the emotions or from by expectations. But now, I am really conscious empathy. I'm practicing the conscious empathy. I'm aware, I'm totally aware, and I am becoming emotionally mature. Means, what I means I permit other people to differ from me. I give the chance for them. They have perfect right to disagree with me. I will give them that. I have changed myself. And I was to not take the same freedom from them. That was what I learned from nowadays, means self-love. And the same freedom I am taking from them, I have right to disagree with them. So what it has, what I want to say is, I am wishing for other what I wish for myself. So there will be, at that time, I drop totally and completely, I drop myself so that I can be in the compassionate love, compassionate listener, that love is just understanding and respecting the divinity of the other people. So that I'm practicing now, and forgiveness set me free, so free now. I thank every situation, every person, every object, and every moment. And what the changes I have seen in myself is, I started to see whatever irritates me about other person, and I am reflecting that part of ego that is activate in me in that situation. At that time, I came to know what is it's going on in me. So now there will be so clear of ego that immediately I can shift to the compassionate love and understanding of other person. And I can give the whole love, the soulful love. And many times silence helped me. Silence is helping me to drop totally and come in a state of peacefulness. And now I am practicing and aware of there is no separation. There is no separation. Everything, all are one. Everything, all means everything. All are one. So that has liberated me so much. And thank you for the topic. It gave me this so much of wisdom today to see myself inside. The conscious empathy. Yes, it's very beautiful to dig myself inside. Thank you for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your experiences, your insights, and your thoughts around it. And I personally found something in what you said that is, I would say, of huge help in terms of checking in with myself if I'm in empathy or maybe in sympathy or maybe in something different. Because you talked about the ego, right? You talked about when I'm listening to that person and my way of listening doesn't contain any aspect of ego. When I can let go of ego while listening to that person,
Yes.
then I'm in empathy. Whereas when there is any type of ego in terms of this relates to me, so I put myself in the main role, or I want to be the supporter, I want to rescue that person or whatever. Whenever any kind of ego kicks in,
Yes.
we switch away from empathy.
Yes. Yes. Really true. This was the thing I was telling. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing that with us. It's really, really important. And for me also, it's important to say it's totally okay when ego kicks in, right? Because we're humans, it will happen. It's something that can just happen. Being conscious about it and practicing consciousness around empathy helps us to get aware of it and decide differently, and that free of judgment. Because if we judge the fact that maybe ego kicked in, that's ego again. So the awareness of, oh, it happened, 2 or 3 steps back, and then giving it the next try is the perfect practice of of learning and improving conscious empathy.
Yes.
And I mean the perfect practice because we allow ourselves the mistakes.
Yes. And respecting the divinity of the other, we can feel. Yes. That is the word feeling I'm getting. The respect in the divinity. Yes, super. It is. Yes, really. I feel it a lot.
And it makes so much sense. What you say is respecting the divinity in other words can also mean I totally 130% am convinced that this person has all it needs to get through this situation, that everything this person needs to process it, to get out of it, on the other hand, with new experiences and the self-actualized version of themselves. This is a way of respecting and believing in the divinity of another person. Yes. Thank you, Mamanta.
Thank you for the explanation. Yes, yes, thank you.
Mal, you are unmuted. Would you like to share something
No,
else
no,
with
I'm
us?
sorry. It was a mistake.
No worries, all is good.
Yeah.
Anybody else who would like to share more thoughts, experiences, or maybe also questions around conscious empathy or doubts, right? This is a place everything has a platform and the space, because that makes discussion and communication worthy and valuable. No more hands raised, no more messages in the chat that I can see. Then I would love to thank you for this vivid and really inspiring discussion of that topic. And I hope all of you found the one or the other spark in what we shared so far. And now I'm happy to guide us into meditation. Find your way into a comfortable position. This can be sitting or lying down, whatever feels best to you right now. If you're sitting, keep the spine upright or make it a little bit more upright even, not in a straining way. Just a little more as if your spine can start to dance with your upper body. And that you get aware that your chest opens up to breathe freely. With your next inhalation, gently close your eyes. Allow yourself some moments to fully arrive and welcome the posture that you chose. Bring your awareness to your feet. Where and how do they touch the ground, the floor, the mattress beneath you, whatever it is. How do your lower legs feel when you stroll upwards with your awareness? Are there contact points with the surface? Or maybe there are none. Can you feel something on your skin? Maybe cloth from your clothes. How do your lower legs feel? Stroll upwards to your knees and to your upper legs. What can you observe when you explore your upper legs? What can you feel on the front of your upper legs? Maybe a blanket, maybe your hands, maybe the cloth of your clothes again, or maybe there's nothing to feel. Everything's all right. Just get aware of what is. And turning your awareness to the back of your upper legs. Where do you feel the contact point with the surface, with the ground, or a chair? Latest, when you stroll to your sitting bones, you get aware of the connection and the grounding pressure. You're always connected in one way or the other. Now stroll upwards to your abdomen. How does that area feel? What can you observe there? How does your belly feel? Can you get aware of your belly dancing on the wave of your breath? Take a moment to observe your belly, your belly button. Just relax. Focus on your belly button and get aware how it moves upwards and downwards with your breath. There's nothing else to do right now. This time, imagine that the wave of your in-breath, the journey is starting at your nostrils and ending right around your belly button. Flow that wave on its journey right into your body with your inhalation from your nostrils, through your throat, your chest, and right down till you arrive at your belly button with your inhalation and your awareness. And with your exhalation, travel back out of your body, your belly button, your chest, through your air pipe, and out of your nostrils again. breath with your physical being. From the moment the air touches your nostrils till the moment your breath rises your belly button and the moment your out breath lowers your belly button up to the moment your out breath leaves your nose. With every in-breath, you soothe your mind. With every out-breath, you soothe your body. Slowly the time comes to get to the end of today's meditation practice. Bring your awareness to your shoulders, into your upper arms, your lower arms, your hands, and move your fingers. Bring your awareness to your sitting bones, your upper legs, your lower legs, your feet, and move your toes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it go through your mouth. Another deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. Turn back to your normal breathing pattern. Let your breath come and go for a few more moments. And whenever you feel ready, at your own pace, in your own time, gently close your eyes. I mean, gently open your eyes. Thanks to all of you for meditating with me. It was a pleasure. If there is anything you would like to share, feel free to do so. But always be aware, there is no need to. Whatever feels best is best right now.
Jana.
Hi, Ramesh.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
A pleasure. I would say see you all next week, and you, Ramesh, hopefully on Saturday.
Yes, yes.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye, bye. Thanks, friends, for being here. And we connect back tomorrow morning for meditation with the cosmic picture. And tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. session too. So till then, be conscious and enjoy. Thank you. Namaste.